peace and great rising. Welcome. How are you this morning, this rising, this beautiful rising? My name is Audie Cave. I am with the Young Scholars Academy. We are here this morning to do some reading, do some fellowship, some bonding. Um, Young Scholars is a youth enrichment program. We run out of the Boys and Girls Family Center on Acorn Street. Of course, during this time, we have transported everything to just our virtual situation, and so we're here today to continue on. Um, so yeah, we have here Mr. Daryl. Would you like to introduce yourself?
It's Daryl Moss. I'm one of the volunteers with the Young Scholars Academy. Miss Audie, can you tell everybody what your role is with the Young Scholars Academy? That's a
My
popular
role,
question.
it is, and so yeah, I tend to be so. Okay, so my role, I am the academy director. The academy has been running for a few years now, more than a few years. But I am the academy director. I help to facilitate all that we have going on here at Young Scholars. We're always looking for volunteers, for people in the community. If you're interested in working with the children, if you would like to read, if you would like to talk about your entrepreneurship endeavors, different things like that, we're here for that. Um, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So got that one out. So she is our Academy Director. And if I can just chime in, Miss Audie.
Yes.
Miss Audie came in as a parent because she has two super awesome young men. And she evolved from being a parent to a volunteer. And then we realized how awesome her skill sets are, her management skills. And she just took over as the academy director. And I mean, when we talk about takeover, we're talking about making sure that the schedules were placed, make sure the curriculum was set, making sure resources were available, make sure everything was organized and ready when the kids walked through the door, scheduling all of our volunteers. So she kind of humble. So I'm gonna throw it out there. She just took it, what we had initially started and what it became, two different things. So wherever you are, if you're watching, just give a whole lot of kudos to Miss Audie. She is the glue behind what we do, from the virtual presentation to the in-house work that we do with young people. Miss Audie, I'm gonna say publicly, thank you so much for the work that you put in, your time. You have your own young men that you're raising, and you taking the time to help culture and nurture the development of other young people. And that's a really awesome feat. So thank you.
Thank
Is
you.
that cool? We
Yes.
have to do that and we have to give credit where credit lies. This is Black History Month, and we have, Black history consists of normal people who do extraordinary things, and she's one of those people. Especially as we drift into Women's History Month,
Thank
it's like an even flow because she is a phenomenal woman. She's the woman that Maya Angelou spoke of in her poem. So thank you and keep doing what you're doing.
you. Blessings, bro. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we are back live. I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to be quiet and lay in the background and enjoy what these young scholars are offering.
Yes, so we have our lovely scholars here this rising, and I would love to start out our reading with Daniel. Daniel has a selection that he would like to share with us. Daniel, if you would like to, can you give a little background? Maybe tell us your favorite food, your name and age, or anything you'd like to share, okay?
My name is Daniel. My age is 10 years old. My favorite food is pizza. And yeah, that's it, basically.
That's cool. Well, what will you be reading for us this rising?
I'm going to be reading The Last Kids on Earth, and it's actually one of my favorite books that I have.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, we are excited to hear from you. So go ahead and take it away when you're ready, all right? take your time. If you have any questions on how to pronounce any words, if you want to take some time on a certain portion of the reading, you do that, okay?
Okay. That's me, not the giant monster, beneath the giant monster. The kid on his back, with a splintered bat, the handsome kid about to get eaten. 42 days ago, I was regular Jack civilian, 13 years old, living an uneventful life in the uninteresting town of Wakefield. I was totally not a hero, totally not a tough guy, totally not fighting giant monsters. But look at me now, battling a gargantuan beast on the roof of a local CVS. Life is crazy like that. Right now, the whole world is crazy like that. Check the shattered windows. Check the wild vines crawling up the side of the building. All of these things are not normal. And me, I haven't been normal. Well, ever. I've always been different. See, I'm an orphan. I bounced all over the country, different homes, different families, before landing in this little town of Wakefield in December. But all that moving makes you tough. It makes you cool. It makes you confident. It makes you good with the girls. It makes you Jack Civilian. Oh crud! Incoming monster fist. Yikes! Almost got monster fist to the skull there. I'm at CVS because I need an eyeglass repair kit. Those tool sets that dads buy when their glasses break. I know that's a lame thing to need, but I have a walkie and that walkie is busted and I need to fix that walkie. I need a really, really, really tiny screwdriver, and the only place to get a really, really, really tiny screwdriver is in the eyeglass repair kit. This was supposed to be a quick, easy trip to CVS, but one thing I've learned about the monster apocalypse, nothing's quick and nothing's easy. This monster here is the foulest, most fiercest, and just plain horrible thing I've ever encountered yet. He straight up kaslam. Yikes. The monster massive fist pounds the roof until it cracks like thin ice. I trip, tumble back, and land hard on my behind. It's time to stop being this monster's punching bag. See, I've kind of been the world's punching bag for a while, you know. It just ain't a whole lot of fun. So I'm fighting back. I get to my feet. I dust myself off. I grip the bat in my hand. Not too tight, not too loose. Just like they go to in the league. I'm trying to hit this lousy curveball. I'm trying to slay a monster. Well, basically,
Something going on with the connection. Um, Ladies, thank you for being patient. Let's see what's going on. I don't know where Daniel went. One moment, ladies, all right? Daniel, are you there? Can't hear you. Are you muted?
he's attempting to get back on.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Everyone in the audience is tuned in on Facebook Live. We're having some technical difficulties at the moment, but we will continue. We'll continue on with the story that Daniel was reading. Just give it a few moments. Mr. Darrell.
Yes, I am in daddy mode.
Peace.
Hey.
Daniel, are you back on?
Yep, he is.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Is he still reading?
Yes, he is. It cut him off. It started doing something a little weird and it cut
No
him off.
worries.
But he's
Hey,
back.
Daniel. Welcome back.
Thank you. I had
Okay.
disconnected.
All right. You
Um,
want to go? You can go ahead and finish. Start from where you left off.
well, basically, he triumphs. The monster's massive hand snatches me out of midair. I'm a thimble. I'm a thimble in his gargantuan's grasp. I tried to hold a grab of my baseball bat blade, aka the Louisville Slicer, but the monster's crushing grip pins my arms to my sides. He pulls me in close to his face. Thick saliva like slime oozes down his lips. His eyes scan me over, and his gasping nostrils flare as he inhales my scent. I feel like that blonde. I feel like that blonde person, King Kong. I wait. Only I don't think this beast, wants to hug me. He sniffs some more, blowing my hair back as he exhales. I turn my face. His breath is just, wow. My man here needs a floss. I've encountered other freaky beasts over the last 42 days, but none like this. None that examined me, looking over, smelling me, studying me. None that felt terrifyingly smart. I have a sick feeling in my gut, a sense, something that tells me this beast here is 100% pure beyond evil. A smile seems to creep across that monster's face, a sinister smirk that says, I'm not simply some primal thug. I'm a monstrous villain, a great evil, and I will enjoy inflicting pain upon your tiny human body. With a spine tingling groan, the beast's mouth opens wide, revealing an army of dirty fangs with chunks of flesh between each tooth. I kick, I squirm, and facing my immense death by devouring. I at last bite. My teeth sink into the monster's flesh, and his paw loosens tightly, just enough for me to wrap my fingers around the blade's handle, rip it free, and I slam the bat into the creature's thick cranium until he roars. A sound like lard, and his palm opens. I'm plugging her down through the hole of the roof into the CVS. I land in the junk food aisle. I snatch an Oreo from its package and jam it into my mouth. The Oreo is a whole lot stale. Whatever. An Oreo is an Oreo. And good snacks are hard to find these days. Plus, since the world ended, it's pretty much everything for the taking. And I'm not turning that down. No way. Right? I examine my predicament. One of the monster's giant feet fills like the entire store. One thing that school supplies aisle, another on the top of the hairspray and deodorant aisle, dashing up and over the monster's foot to the front of the store, a spot what I came for. I shoved the can into my pocket, but then the monster's clawed fingers tear through the roof like it's nothing. The ceiling collapses around me. I dart for the door. I'd love to stay for a while.
We're going to see if we can get Daniel's Wi-Fi back up and running right. In the meantime, let's go to, we'll get Daniel when he comes back. He's going to have to find another access point. So, Aaliyah, are you ready? Oh, here's Daniel. Let's see. I'm going to have Daniel come back and finish. But, Aaliyah, let's get you started. I think you're in a better area. So, here we go.
Okay.
I'm reading the book I was reading last Saturday with the Might of Angels. Thursday, May 20th, 1954. Diary book. Today, Yolanda and me didn't come right home after school, like we're supposed to. I mean, this is my birthday week, and I did make a wish on candles Mama had put on my cake at supper on Tuesday. I didn't need those candles for wishing, though. I've had the same wish for as long as I can remember, to see the inside of Pretty Man Colburn, Hadley's White School. Mama and Daddy have told me time and time again that I'm never to go to the white part of town without them. Daddy once said, if I ever get wind to go over there, your behind will wonder if and grow skin again. But I wasn't going to be in the white part of town. I was just passing by the white part of town, so I could see Pretty Man. Yolanda and me took the long way home. Really, it wasn't even on my way home. But since it was long, truth be told, since this is my diary, I can be honest. Pretty Man is on the way to the other side of Hadley, nowhere near where we live. By the main streets, it takes just about a whole hour to walk 2 miles from Pretty Man to our neighborhood. It's less than half time when you take shortcuts. Even when this was the long way home, it was the shortest way to get to Pretty Man. Yolanda and I walked side to side along Weedle Lane, which brought us through the piney woods up Pretty Man, where the sports field meets the railroad tracks. The grass is high and yellow there, and thick with weeds. I had my pogo stick stretched across the back of my shoulders, arms hung over each end. I nudged Yolanda. Look at the baseball field, I said. It's like something from a movie, Yolanda said. I blinked. They even have a dugout. And padded bases, Yolanda said. We stayed low in the grasses. I saw a girl come out of Pretty Man's back door and unlatched a bell from a hook on the school's bricks. She looked to be the same age as me. She walked around the side of the building to the front, holding the bell. The bell was no bigger than a teacup, but when she waved it, it sure clanged loudly. That bell's sound was as beautiful as the baseball field. You hear that, Donnie? They must ring the same bell when you step off a cloud to enter heaven, I said. Saturday, May 22nd, 1954. Diary book. As I'm awake as a hooty owl on this black night, I've been thinking about Pretty Man's baseball field. I've been trying to sleep, but over and over, I keep seeing the same moving picture in my mind. Me, Donnie Ray, rounding the bases on Pretty Man's baseball diamond. Can you imagine anything better? If it were made of real diamonds, I wouldn't be surprised. Here are just a few more things I want to write about me, to make this diary truly mine. Folks call me Hey Girl or Cold Catcher. That's the same thing as calling me a tomboy. People can say what they want. They're mostly right in thinking I'm not scared of getting dirty. Hay and cold don't bother me. Neither does dirt, night crawlers, bugs, or even the smell of rotten eggs. Running fast and hard makes me happier than a grasshopper at a jump rope contest. I can swim as good as any frog. I'm nimble too. I can wrestle a knot free from a tangle of shoelaces, trap a moth by its wings with 2 of my fingers, and clear the hedge that separates our yard from Marita Street, where we live. I've never liked dresses or shoes that shine. Even if I were to meet President Dwight D. Eisenhower himself, I'd show up to shake his hands in dungarees and keds. Don't stick me in a starched skirt or anything with a ruffle, except on Sundays when Mama insists that I look correct for church. As much as it hurts to wear one of those 3 or 2 skirts that I own, I do it for Mama and Daddy and for Goober, who says, Donnie, dresses really show your strong ankles. What's really correct is what suits a person best. And what suits me is playing baseball. More than anything, I want to be a part of an all-American girls baseball league, a group of women baseball players, but there are no Negroes playing in the all-girls American Baseball League. Not a single one. Someday I'll write a letter to Jackie Robinson, second baseman for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the first Negro baseball player in the second modern leagues, to see if he can help me get into the baseball team. If anyone would know how to break in, Jackie would. Used to be that Major Leagues Baseball didn't allow colored players. Jackie changed all that. He stepped over what folks called the color line and added some color to the major leagues. Anyway, for now, I'll have to keep batting in the Orms pasture, down past Yolanda's house, at the place where Herbert Street meets with Landon Avenue. Monday, May 24th, 1954. Diary book. Things at school are getting a lot stranger and stranger. I'm glad we've only had a few weeks to go before summer break. Today, my teacher called me and two other kids into the office. Yolanda, Roger, Wykes, and I slid into the bench that faced the teacher's desk. The teacher was looking at me mostly, it seems. Before he could speak, I defended myself for what I thought I'd done bad. I swear, the only reason why I brought my pogo stick into school yesterday was because I left it out where the birds like to go to the bathroom all over the place. Geez, the geese are coming back to Virginia from farther south and they're having a welcome home party. Yolanda looked at me sideways. She was wearing a smirk. She looked at me with a smirk. Mr. Rogers snickered, but I really didn't see what was so funny. Yolanda was sticking up for me, and she was only telling the truth. The teacher didn't think it was funny either. He was serious when he said to me, "Donnie, you have the highest grades in elementary division at Mary McLeod Bethlehem School, and as such, we would like to give you a speech for the 6th grade stepping up ceremony for next month. I know I have good grades, but giving speeches, that's not me." I answered with a question. "How come Yolanda and Roger are here?" Mr. Collin was quick to answer. "The three of you are the best and brightest students, and we would like each of you to speak at the stepping up ceremony. Yolanda and Rogers will say a few words. As the highest ranking student, you, Donnie, will deliver a speech." Yolanda bumped me with her leg. Roger was shaking his head as he was being asked to walk on fire. "Additionally," said Mr. Collin, we will be administering a special academic test to each of you to assess your full abilities as you enter 7th grade. I don't mind school tests. In the same way, baiting a fish hook doesn't bother me. But it's the end of the school year and I'm sick of studying. It doesn't even seem fair that we have to take a test, seeing as the three of us are the smartest kids at Bethlehem. Right when I was wishing I was getting in trouble for my ploppy pogo stick, at least a scolding would be over as we left Mr. Collin's office. Mr. Collin explained that the test would be given in 4 parts, each for a different area of study, and that we take the test in 1-hour segments after school, beginning next week. At the same time, at home, in the evenings, we're to work on our programs and remarks for the Stepping Up program. Roger and Yolanda started to grumble quietly. They had no good reason to complain. They were way luckier than me. They were being asked to say a few words at the Stepping Up ceremony. I would have to give a whole speech. I tried to turn my attention to taking the test, which came a little more than natural. Roger raised his hand. "Mr. Collin, is this stuff on the test what we've already learned?" "It's a standardized test issued by the Department of Education for the state of Virginia. It covers all aspects of 6th grade curriculum," Mr. Collin said. "How are we supposed to study?" Yolanda said, just wanting to know. "Just come prepared and do your best," was Mr. Collin's answer. As much as I tried, I couldn't yank my thoughts away from the ceremony. I asked a question more important than all the other questions about the test. "Do I have to wear a dress to the stepping up?" Mr. Collin said, "That's up to you, Donnie." When we got outside, Yolanda said, "That's up to your mama." After supper time, when I told Mama and Daddy about the stepping up ceremony, they were pleased. "Up, up, up," Goober said. "You can fly, Donnie." Daddy said, "You're a Johnson. You've performed well on that test, and you'll step up proudly at that ceremony." Mama's words were hard to hear. "I'll go down to the Woolworths tomorrow and buy fabric for a new dress. 2 weeks isn't a lot of time, but I can make you something lovely for your stepping up speech." "You can fly, Donnie," Goober repeated. "Donnie can fly." Tuesday, May 25th, 1954. Since what I write is between you and me, I will use your pages for pie in the sky dreaming. My biggest, most pie in the sky wish is to meet Jackie Robinson. Jackie won't ever get the chance to read you, but I will write the letters I want to send to him in here on your pages. I will tell him what I wish I could say if he knocked on our front door and stayed for supper. Dear Mr. Jackie Robinson, I'm the only girl in all of Lee County who loves baseball. I can bat and pitch, and even ump a game if I have to. Out back, hanging from our yard's biggest tree, there's a rope with a mop head tied to the end of it. My tree mop, I call it. This is how I learned to bat. Every chance I get, I swing that mop head, keeping my eyes pinned to its strings, pushing my bat right up on it to see the mop head swing. Mr. Jackie Robinson, I've always wanted to know, how does it feel to play baseball in front of so many people? Who taught you how to swing a bat? And when you're on the field, what are you thinking about? Is Brooklyn fun? Your fan, Donnie Ray Johnson. And that's all I'm reading today.
Nice. Thank you so much, Aaliyah. I really love the stepping up ceremony. Does anyone have any questions for Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Or any comments?
I enjoyed that story, Aaliyah. Great job. Great job. Great job. Can I see a smile? Great job.
Leanne, did you have a question?
I didn't have a question, I had a comment, and I like that story. And hope we can, unless you finished it, you probably didn't because you tried, but I didn't hear that well because my connection got a little corrupted, but I love that story.
Thank you.
Good job. Great job.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, is Daniel back? Should we go back to Daniel? Did you have more that you were reading? I know you got cut off again.
He had one more page. He was on his last page. You want to finish that page, Daniel? I think he's frozen. Or am I frozen? Okay. So let's go to Ayana.
Yes.
With your poem. You ready for your poem?
Hi.
Hey.
So today I'm going to be reading a poem / like a story of what the world will be like without Black people. The story's called A World Without Black People. This is the story of a little boy named Theo, who woke up one morning and asked his mother, "Mom, what if there were no Black people in the world?" Well, his mother thought about that for just a moment, and then said, "Son, follow me around today, and let's just see what the world would be like with no Black people in the world, if there were no Black people in the world." Mom said, "Now go get dressed, and we will get started." Theo ran to his room to put on his clothes and shoes. His mother took one look at him and said, "Theo, where are your shoes? And these clothes are all wrinkled. I must iron them." However, when she reached for the ironing board, it was no longer there. You see, Sarah Boone, a Black woman, invented the ironing board, and Jan E. Mantelzinger, a Black man, invented the shoe-lasting machine. "Oh well," she said, "please go and do something with your hair." Theo ran in his room to comb his hair, but the comb was also not there. You see, Walter Sammons, a Black man, invented the comb. Theo decided to just brush his hair, but the brush was gone too. You see, Lydia O. Newman, a Black female, invented the brush. Well, this was a sight. No shoes, wrinkled clothes, and hair a mess. Even Mom's hair without the hair care inventions of Madam C.J. Walker. Well, you get the picture. Mom told Theo, "Let's do our chores around the house and then take a trip to the grocery store." Theo's job was to sweep the floor. He swept and swept and swept. When he reached for the dustpan, it was not there. You see, Lloyd P. Ray, a Black man, invented the dustpan. So he swept his pile of dirt over in the corner and left it there. He then decided to mop the floor, but the mop was also gone. You see, Thomas W. Stewart, a Black man, invented the mop. Theo yelled to his mom, "Mom, I'm not having any luck." "Well, son," she said, "let me finish washing these clothes, and we'll prepare a list for the grocery store." When the wash finished, she went to place the clothes in the dryer, but it was also not there. You see, George T. Salmon, a Black man, invented the clothes dryer. Mom asked Theo to get a pencil and some paper to prepare a list for the market. So, Theo ran for the paper and the pencil, but noticed the pencil lead was broken. Well, he was out of luck because John Love, a Black man, invented the pencil sharpener. Mom reached for a pen, but it was not there because William Purvis, a Black man, invented the fountain pen. As a matter of fact, Lee Burridge invented the typewriting machine and W.A. Leavitt the advanced printing press. Theo and his mother decided to just head for the market. Well, when Theo opened the door, he noticed the grass was as high as he was tall. You see, John Burr, a Black man, invented the lawnmower. They made their way over to the car and found that it just wouldn't start. You see, Richard Spikes, a Black male, invented the automatic gear shift, and Joseph Gamble invented the supercharge system for internal combustion and engines. they noticed that the few cars that were moving kept running into each other and having wrecks because there were 0 traffic signals. You see, Garrett A. Morgan, an African American man, invented the traffic light. Well, it was already getting late, so they just walked to the market, got their groceries, and returned home. Just when they were about to put away the milk, eggs, and butter, they noticed that the refrigerator was gone. You see, John Standard, a black man, invented the refrigerator. So, they just left the food on the counter, and by this time, Theo noticed it was getting mighty cold. Mom went to turn up the heat, and what do you know? Alice Parker, a black female, invented the heating furnace. Even if this was in the summertime, they also would have been out of luck because Frederick Jones, a black man, invented the air conditioner. It was almost time for Theo's father to arrive home. He usually takes the bus, but there was no bus because its precursor was the electric trolley, invented by another African American man, Albert E. Robinson. He usually takes the elevator from his office on the 20th floor, but there was no elevator because Alexander Miles, a black man, invented the elevator. He usually also dropped off the office mail at a nearby mailbox, but it was no longer there because Alex Philip Downing invented the letter drop mailbox, and William Barry invented the postmarketing and canceling machine. Theo and his mother sat at the kitchen table with their heads in their hands. When Theo's dad arrived, he asked, "Why are you sitting in the dark?" Why? Because Lewis Howard Latimer, a black man, invented the filament within the light bulb. Theo quickly learned more about what it would be like if there were no black people in the world, especially if he were ever sick and needed blood. Dr. Charles Drew, a black scientist, found a way to preserve and store blood, which led to the starting of the world's first ever blood bank. Well, what if a family member had to have heart surgery? This would not have even been possible without Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, an African American doctor who performed the first open heart surgery. So, if you ever wonder, like Theo, where we would be without black people, well, it's pretty plain to see. We would still be in the dark. Thank you.
Awesome. Amazing. Beautiful. Wow. I really love that. It's so interesting to learn and to know about all of the different things that Black people have invented, have created. Back in the day, we weren't allowed the opportunity to patent our inventions. Do you know what to patent something? Do you know what that means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
So to patent something is like if you were to create something, a patent is when you would like get a document or get like an official piece of paper stating that like you made this and it's your invention, so nobody else can go and steal it and say like I created this, he did it.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
And Ayana, what was the name? I'm sorry, the audience. What was the name of that poem?
The poem is called "A World Without Black People."
And who wrote that?
I'm checking right now.
Okay.
That's a lovely piece. Does someone else have something to say?
Philip,
did you have your Miran, Amaya? Oh, so go ahead, Ayana.
Like mispronounce his name, but his name is Philip Miguali.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna spell his last name because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. So, Meagwali, Philip, and then Philip is his first name. Well, the last name I just spelled it.
All right. Thank you so much. Miran, you had a comment? Okay.
And Amaya had a comment as well.
Okay.
Hi, Amaya. Peace and blessings.
It was a question that
Sure.
Mr. Tyrell had asked already.
Oh,
okay. They gotta know. Yeah, but you had asked the question already, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That was a good book.
Nice.
Miran, you had a question or a comment?
Yeah, I love that poem because I love poems in general. And I love the moral of that poem because if we didn't have those people, like, we have like nothing. Because the slide right now, we wouldn't have it.
Wow. Gotcha.
I just want to read some of the comments over here. It says, thank you, Miss Audie. Daniel, creative, detailed, and his story is captivating. Nice. Beautiful. Tish says, wow, this is amazing. Crystal Fearing, excellent reading. Oh, great presentation. What book are they reading? So the poem again, it was what can you say the title again, Ayana?
What do you want?
The title of the poem is A World Without Black People.
Beautiful. And the poet. Do you remember his name?
My mom says she's gonna put the name of the writer and the name of the poem in the comments.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any comments anything to add? All right. All right. So we're gonna go on to the next scholar, which is Miss Amaya Israel. Are you reading with us this rising? Do you have something that you would like to share?
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes, thank you.
A book that is called Lullaby. A poem by
Langston Hughes.
Lace Dick Hughes and illustrated by Sen Coyes.
Sean Qualls.
Coles. For my wife, Sala, mother of my child, muse of my art. My little dark baby, my little earth thing, my little loved one. What shall I sing for your lullaby? Stars, stars, a necklace of stars. Windy the night. My little black baby, my dark body, baby, what shall sing for your lullaby? Moon, moon, great diamond moon. Kissing the night. Oh, little dark baby, night black baby. Stars, stars, moon, night stars, moon. For your sleep sing song lullaby. A note about the poet.
The poet.
Poet. It's nighttime in Harlem, and a blanket of stars. A young man sits down and writes a poem. He is alone. He has no kids of his own. For whom is he writing this lullaby? James Mercy
Langston
Hughes was born just shy of midnight on February 1st, 1902, in
Jalapeno, Missouri.
Jalopia, Missouri.
Jalopin, Missouri. Go ahead.
Not long after his father left and moved to Mexico, his mother working at one mental job after another. He was often gone as a boy. Langston was lonely. He lived with his grandmother, who told him stories while wrapped him in the blank
Bullet.
bullet
Where's the finger?
bullet
Right. Bullet riddle.
bullet
Riddle shawl.
shawl that had belonged to her freedom fighting husband. Whenever his mother did come home, she and Langston
Langston. Langston.
Langston
Put the book down, honey.
would go to the library. Langston loved the way it smelled, its smooth wood tables, and especially its books. Books took Langston blues away. They even gave him a dream to become a poet. Inspired by music from hymns to jazz to blues, Langston wrote poems that were both painful and
What is it? Painful? Painful and lyrical.
lyrical. His poems inspired the richness, joys, and sorrows of everyday life and everyday people. He also wrote novels, plays, short stories, essays, autobiography,
Oh, yeah.
Liberton,
Keep going. I can't see.
and children's books, The Dream Keeper and other poems, published.
I don't know. Come on, keep reading, baby.
In 1932, included Lullaby for a Black Mother. In his college, Langston wrote of the moon and the rain, rivers and fairies. He wrote of maple sugar, children in sugar houses, and boys who carry beauties in their hearts. He wrote of the night and stars, and he wrote of dreams. Langston was a dream keeper, and poems were his way to wrap dreams up in a soft blanket and keep them safe. Lullaby for a Black Mother was written when Langston was a young man. It's sweet,
Luring.
luring rhythm, celebrations, a bedtime
With ritual.
ritual, and the bond between a mother and child. Langston wrote poems for everyone, but perceive he writes this lullaby as a compliment to the lonely boy he had been.
Oh. Is that it?
Yep.
Is it?
And
Nice. Thank you, Amaya. Beautiful. How many know about Langston? How many know about Mr. Langston Hughes? Yeah, that was great. Would anyone like to ask any questions or any comments? Does anyone know who Langston Hughes is?
Can I give a comment?
Yes, you can.
So a comment I have for Maya is that I really like when I say I love that book. I like that it's a really good book, but it's not like it's a book that's accessible to more people. Alright. What I'm trying to say is I like how the book is a good book with a good message, but it's just not for a certain type of reader. It's for anybody who wants to read it.
That's nice. So anyone can read that and get the understanding of from like it's intergenerational, huh? Beautiful. Are you saying something, Mr. Darrell?
No, I was saying that was phenomenal. I enjoyed that. I didn't. Did you say Langston Hughes was from Missouri?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That's one more thing I could add to my arsenal. I didn't know that. So thank you.
Yes, his name is James Mercer. His name was James Mercer.
He had a full name, James Mercer Langston Hughes, and he just used his second middle name.
Yeah.
There's a picture of his mother.
Oh, right. So she didn't show like when he was a baby. I don't know if you can see it.
Missouri. Go
But
ahead, sit down.
he it's a picture of him with his mother, I think. And I guess being lonely. His father went to Mexico. His mother's working all the time, and grandma's there to feed him. It's critical when you're young, from up until 7 years old. You get all life experience and understanding, and then you take it from there. So and it's beautiful that he went into music and he used everything to put what he was learning and how he felt and put them in words, because that's how he felt. He was lonely, and that was his lullaby, not the traditional lullaby, right?
When AJ was not here, I was lonely.
Right. So, see, Amari said she was lonely sometimes when her brother wasn't here. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful. Langston
Question.
Hughes he was very important to our history as it relates to art, just like expression, right? So poetry, overall amazing. So we have Miran, and then we have.
I think there's a question.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's not much of a question. I just want to say I'm sorry that I have to leave so early, but I have to go.
Oh, don't be sorry, darling. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing.
Bye.
We love the
Have a great
poem.
day.
You too. I'll be back next week. Okay.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Enjoy your week.
Bye.
All right. So we have Miran,
I'm next.
and then we have Amaya Yates. Yes.
Oh, okay.
What are you reading this rising?
I'm reading the same story that I was reading, the story I made again.
Beautiful.
Let me notice, yeah.
This is the one that you wrote, yes?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, would you like to tell the lovely folks about the book that you just gave a little overview?
So right now,
Mm-hmm.
so this is there's two characters, the main characters, Lindy and Simon. They're both entering our contest, and yeah, the art contest is the next thing. Since right now we're on the tomorrow part, we're on Friday, and we're almost finished on Friday.
Beautiful.
On the day of Friday, so I'm gonna start reading now.
Yes. Okay? Yep. Go right ahead, honey.
I'm gonna read the first two other pieces of dialogue and then go where I continue, and then continue. Okay, don't forget the art contest is tomorrow, Simon, and I'll see you there, Lindy said. Don't forget supplies, Simon added. As Lindy and Simon said goodbye to each other, they both went home and prepared for the art contest. As they did, they got their outfits, supplies, and other things. They both thought about who would win, but everyone knew who was going to win. It was obvious. It was going to be Lindy. Lindy read us a story before sleeping. Once upon a time, his family woke up for breakfast. Wow, here you come. Lizzie heard her sister Abby yell while running downstairs to the kitchen. Lindy fell asleep before finishing the story. She had another full day ahead of her. Simon put his pajamas on for the first time in years, fell asleep early. He also had a big day ahead of him. Beep, beep, beep. Simon's alarm clock went off. Simon yawned and wondered why his alarm went off. He always sleeps on weekends or holidays. Why did my alarm go off? Then he knew why. It's because our contest was going to start in 55 minutes. Quickly ran to his closet and got dressed. Good morning, hun, Simon's mom said. Why'd you wake up so early? I thought you wanted me to wake you up for our contest you entered. Thanks, Mom, but I'm being a friend at the park before our contest, Simon said. So, what's for breakfast? Blueberry pancakes and chocolate milk, Mom told him. Thanks, Mom, you're the best. I'll go pack your supplies in your school bag. Simon eats his blueberry pancakes and drinks his milk. He saw he only had 40 minutes left. He finished and washed his mouth as his mother told him to do before and after eating, or do something dirty. Here's your school bag, had your phone and supplies. Good luck, hun. Thanks, Mom, bye. Simon shouted as he left the house. He waited in front of the parking lot near the local park. Then Lindy arrived at the parking lot and saw Simon. Hi, Simon. You're earlier than I expected, Lindy said, a little surprised. Well, Lynn, no way I'm missing the art contest, Simon said. I got my bag with my paper, markers, crayons, pencils, colored pencils, and my paint, my phone, and a lot more. Wow, you really are prepared. All you needed was a canvas and paint. And maybe your phone, Lindy reminded him. Oh, I forgot. Oops, Simon said. It's 12:40, Simon said in a hurry. Let's go. Okay. We still have 5 minutes, Lindy said as she caught up with him. I don't want to be late, Simon said while sitting in the mirror. Come back here, Lindy shouted at Simon. Well, at least we got here. It's 12:43, Simon said while catching his breath. Well, that's a good thing. And we got great exercise, Lindy said. Hello, you must be Lindy and Simon. You're here just in time. I was calling names to make sure that everyone that signed up came to our competition this year, the judge told them. Okay, thanks, Lindy said. No problem, the judge said. As they waited for the last 2 minutes, Lindy saw Mia. Hey, Mia, good to see you here, Lindy said as they hugged. Hey, Lindsay, is that Simon, the boy you're helping with art skills? Mia asked Lindy. Mm-hmm, Lindy responded. Simon, this is my best friend Mia. Mia, meet my good friend Simon. Lindy introduced both to each other. I'm gonna stop there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miran. I really love that you just dive right into your original piece, and it's awesome that you're often editing, as you're sharing with us. It's so beautiful. We have a question from Amaya.
After you finish reading your story, will you finish Amelia Bedelia if you haven't?
Yeah, probably.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much, Miran. We have some more comments. Wow, an original. Yes, Miran is an author. We have a few authors, a few scholar authors. They're amazing. And they also said beautiful piece. I am so proud of you all. Reading is very important, and I love seeing you all take a break from devices and social media. Parents love you alongside your babies. These moments are priceless. Indeed. Yes, it's always a good feeling to wake up Saturday mornings and to just get to, what we love to do, our reading. All right. Does anyone have any comments, anything to say to Miran in regards to her reading?
I'm loving her story as I followed along over the last couple of weeks. I'm just like, I have a question. So after you finish this story, you're going to write another one?
I'm actually working on another one myself. It's called
Wow.
A Flower in the Backyard.
Okay.
What
Thank
is
you.
it called?
Flower in the Backyard.
Oh,
When I finish it, I might read it, but I didn't. It's pretty long. It's
oh,
pretty long. That's what I know.
that
So I'm
sounds
going
quite
to.
profound.
So I'm going to continue Emily Bazillion until I finish the story I was working on
Nice.
after I read this one.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it. Thank you. As always, thank you. Thank you for sharing. We have last but not least.
Nope, not last because Daniel still has to finish his last page.
Oh,
He's
I
gonna finish his story. So we'll go to Amaya. Daniel, because you opened it up, we're gonna have you close it off as well. Sorry for the kids. We're gonna have you close it off as well. Amaya, you ready? Let's get it.
I'm reading 2 chapters of Serena Says. Chapter 8, Sipping with the Enemy. Do either of you know the answer to number 13? I was on Two-Face again, doing homework with CJ and Leilani. Hearing a murmur from the other person in the room, I scanned to the top of my paper and answered out loud. Sure, JC. I got 148.04. There was a pause, a long one, where I could only see the top of JC's head. She was probably doing the problem again, checking my answer against her own. Sure enough, the next thing she said was, "That's not right." It's right. I multiplied it out again. I'm doing all the division problems first, and then... Yeah, but Leilani said it's 148. You're supposed to round it to the nearest 10. I grimaced. I know that. If you'd let me finish, I was going to say that I was doing all the division problems first, then going back and doing the rounding. That's not how I would do it. Leilani's voice sounded tiny through the speaker. JC agreed, sounding anxious like she always did about math. Yeah, Serena, what if you forget? Then they're all wrong. I sighed. How many times did we have to do this? I won't forget. I have written it down. I have it written down all as a step. That's what Mr. Van said to do, to break up a problem and do it in steps. Remember? Uh-huh. JC sounded distracted and swallowed a sigh. JC and I did homework on Two-Face a lot, even before her surgery and everything. If I could be right there with her, it was the best thing. I didn't know how she done it as a three-way call, though. That was some kind of paid service, and Falone and I could only have free one. Still, since JC hated math, her parents got her all the help they could get. And it helped her talk to me and Leilani. Even though I could barely hear Leilani's voice, I felt upset and ignored. But I was trying my best not to be a baby about it. JC was my best friend. If doing maths with both of us helped JC understand it better, I wouldn't be a good best friend if I complained, right? After a long moment, JC spoke again. Have you done any word problems? Ew, no, I jumped in. I wish Mr. Van wouldn't give us so many of those. 12 for one assignment is ridiculous. I know, right? Okay. Lonnie says the first one is... Wait, don't tell me, I exclaimed. I can do it. I didn't need math help, especially not from Leilani Camacho, no matter how smart Mr. Van thought she was. Well, hurry up, JC said. We're almost done, and Leilani did the word problems first. How are you almost done? I complained. I'm on 15, and you didn't just ask me about 13. And didn't you just ask me about 13? Lonnie's done, and I'm almost done, JC repeated. And I'm going to hang up pretty soon. Lonnie's mom brought boba tea, and I want mine. I looked up from my paper. Wait, Leilani's at your house right now? JC's face came back into focus, and she panned the camera around. Look, she's right here. I told you she was going to do math with us. I opened my mouth to say I wish JC had invited me over, then bit my tongue. I didn't want to sound pathetic. I know, I just thought. I shook my head. Boba and homework helped and Leilani. And here I was at home with my water bottle, doing problems all on my own. Never mind. I'll talk to you later. Okay, I'll call you tonight. Ooh, there are these little creep things you'd like, Serena. I'll have to ask Mrs. Camacho how to make them. Oh, and listen, Leilani says to tell you that she'll call you later. She will? I said a hurried goodbye, but JC had already ended our session. I hadn't said anything to Leilani Camacho since Thursday Mr. Van gave her my class ambassador job. As far as I'm concerned, we don't need to talk to each other forever. Leaving behind my word problems, I wandered into the living room. I found the distraction I was looking for sitting on the couch and playing a game on her phone. Hey, Flea, what are we doing for Halloween? My sister didn't look up. She's doing this thing where she ignores Mom and me when we use her baby name. I kind of don't blame her, though. Mom called me Ranabena for ages. I sighed loudly. Alone? What? She looked up at last. Halloween is coming up soon. What are we doing? Who's we? I rolled my eyes. Geez, my sister was so annoying. You know what? Never mind. Falone smirked down at her phone. Sharon and Lainey and I are going to the corn maze at Ardenwood. I sighed and wandered into the kitchen. Last year, Mom worked on Halloween, so Falone went to Newport Mall's Halloween haunted house in her Hogwarts robe, while JC and I ordered pizza and watched a movie while we handed out candy. JC liked handing it out in our neighborhood because unless all her little cousins came over, there weren't enough kids in hers. That night, Falone and her friend Sharon crashed our party like an hour into the movie, even though they made fun of what we were watching. The Dark Crystal is the best movie ever, and my sister has zero taste, and ruined what was supposed to be our private pizza party. Sharon gave us facials and crazy manicures, and Falone brought out her colored chalk so we can stripe our hair. We let them eat the rest of our pizza for that. I couldn't help but think that Halloween this year wasn't going to be anywhere near as fun. Not with JC stuck at home, not even getting to hand out candy, not with Leilani hanging around. So Leilani was supposed to call me tonight. I scowled as I rummaged in the kitchen cupboard for Mom's tin of guavadilla. If I had to chit-chat with the enemy, I needed hot chocolate. I need to find theme song that's exactly 6 seconds long. I don't like this one. Anyway, what's up, world? It's Saturday, and loud vacuum cleaner noises from behind the door. Falone, I'm picking up the mic. I'm trying to practice my vlogging. What's up, world? It's the weekend, and it's time for another Serena Says story time. Welcome back to my vlog. JC's been on my mind, so it's time for a best friend story. Did I ever tell you about the time JC and her family took us to Livery Gardens and we totally danced in a memorial parade dance? It is one of the most JC things to do ever happen in the history of our friendship. And it's so her. So, we were in 4th grade, I was 9, and JC was going to be 10. And JC had begged and begged and begged her parents to take us to Gloria Gardens because she wanted to ride the rides and she wanted to see the giant puzzle trees and all that. And so the park had just opened for the season and the sun was out and it was all gorgeous and everything. Gloria Gardens Main Street had this whole thing for Memorial Day. You know, marchers with flags and this whole dance troupe in costume and a band with drums and flutes and whatnot. And so when we get there and everybody is lining up on the parade route, and it is super short back then, and Mr. Ginorio told me to get right out of everyone, and we stood and watched the parade. They were amazing. There were a lot of dancers and gymnasts, and people with flags doing cartwheels, and I was there for it, right? I mean, I'm standing out in the best spot on the whole parade route. I'm with my best friend, and I am into it. So they had some, I guess, square dancers. They were dancing in pairs, and they were, I don't know, kind of galloping along, doing these steps, and people were kind of clapping along with the music. And then, and then they would kind of split up and dance with someone from the crowd, right? And I thought, oh, that's cool. The people in the crowd are a part of the parade too. Then all of a sudden they were in front of me. And this guy held out his hand for me and I took it. He spun me around and danced me around. And suddenly I was a part of the parade. It was amazingly cool. It was so fun. I totally could not dance. But he just kind of spun me around and pretty much held me up off the ground. All I know is it went by fast. And then he kind of turned me around and set me down. And boom, he was gone. And I had no idea where I was. I mean, duh, I was at Gloria Gardens, and I was on the parade route. But the guy who had danced with me had kind of screwed up, and he hadn't danced me back to where I'd been. He danced me around into the crowd, and I was this short, runny little 9-year-old, trying to see over the heads of all of these people trying to figure out where I was. And then I heard JC screaming, Serena! Serena! And people are starting to laugh. And I'm like, where are you? And I start pushing forward, and then I find the parade again. And there's JC in the middle dancing in a circle, trying to find me. And the parade is going around her. And people are trying to move her back to the side, but no. She's standing right in the middle of this whole parade, turning in a circle over and over again, yelling, Serena! Serena! I shoved my way to the crowd and I ran over to her, so totally relieved. I thought I was going to be lost in that crowd of tall people for the rest of my life. I was like, JC! And I grabbed her hand. And then she grabbed my other hand and started trying to dance like the dancers. We were terrible. She didn't know the steps any better than I did. But I was just so happy to see her. I was like, sure, let's dance. I mean, we couldn't go back to watching the parade like normal people, right? Not after we've been awesome and a part of everything. This is stupid. I'm not going to cry about something that happened a long time ago. I'm not going to cry. Okay, this story is making me really, really sad. So let's wrap it up. Have you ever had an amazing friend like that? Have you ever been one? Or have you ever danced in a parade for Memorial Day or any other time? Serena says having a friend like that is the best thing, and being a friend like that is the bomb. But losing a friend like that, don't let it happen, right? That's my story, and I'm out. Chapter 9, Moodopoly. An hour ago, I'd been so excited to spend the day with JC. Just the two of us. For the first time since I've gotten better, now I squeezed my eyes shut, so I wasn't tempted to glare holes in my best friend's head. The website Mom read says transparent receptants are bored and emotional sometimes during recovery. She said that that's my job to help JC by modeling an attitude that is positive and upbeat. Mom said she read somewhere that transplant patients need understanding from friends and family most of all. Mom hasn't tried playing Monopoly with JC Ganorio, is all I'm saying. JC, why are you taking all of the money out of the bank again? Duh, JC sounded snarkily and bored. You get money when you hit free parking. Now my eyes widen in disbelief. No you don't. Free parking is not a thing. Nobody gets money for just hitting a square unless it's passing go or somebody lands on their hotel. That's what the rulebook says. That's how you play. Now JC was the one glaring, her face splotched with color. I wasn't even I wouldn't have gotten it from the bank except nobody had to pay taxes. Once we pay taxes, we take it from the middle of the board. What? JC sighed. It's only $75, Serena. Jeez. I threw up my hands, but that's not how you play. Taxes go to the bank like they do in real life. Nobody just gets everyone's tax money because they land on a lucky parking spot. JC blinked. Yeah, they do. Maybe you've heard of the lottery, Serena? Geez, I don't even know why I play with you. I blew out an angry breath and threw down my top hat. We don't have to play, Serena. JC threw down the rubber duck and best piece which he always hawked, and glared back. Fine, I exhaled, trying hard to blow out my temper. JC was grumpy sometimes, and she said it was because of her period. But I had my period now, finally, and I knew not everybody acted mean and snippy during their lady days. Sometimes I thought JC just felt like being mean. I took 3 deep breaths, and I reminded myself that JC probably wasn't feeling good, and she has been my best friend since the day she asked me to eat lunch with her in 4th grade, and that best friends forgive each other, even when one of them is being completely ridiculous and making up rules like she's the high queen of board games. After that last breath was blown out, I tried a quieter voice. So I'm over Monopoly. What do you want to do now, JC? Unfortunately, JC hadn't blown out her temper. I don't know, Serena. Maybe I just want people to come to my house and play a stupid game with me, without having a big, stupid drama about it. My jaw dropped and I sucked in a breath to yell and remembered. Best friend. She's my best friend. And she's sick and bored and feels wretched. And best friends forgive each other. I swallowed hard, choking down my angry words. Okay, look. JC, I know. No, you don't, Serena, JC exploded. You think you know. That's your problem. What? And you think you know everything, JC shrilled. Even though I'm the one who gets poked with needles every day, I'm the one who has to have blood tests and take all these pills all the time for weeks and months and years. And I'm the one with the headaches and the back pain. I'm the one who has to be nice to all these nurses when I'm sick of needles and blood tests, or else they'll think I'm a big baby. You only think that you know what it's like. I felt my shoulders hunching. Every word JC said felt like she was a balloon blowing up bigger and bigger. The more she yelled, the more room she took up, until there wasn't any room left for me. Mrs. Ganorio appeared in the doorway and looked at both of us, her forehead wrinkled. JC kept going, her voice colder and louder. But I'm the one who can't go outside, or my nene freaks and she wants me to wear a mask. Even I'm just walking in the yard by myself. And it's not like the air's poisonous. I'm the one with the pill that makes my stomach hurt, and the other stupid pill that makes my hand shake. Jolene, JC's nene said firmly, pronouncing it like Jolene. Take a breath, Nate. Take a breath. JC huffed out a breath and glared. Her dark brown eyes were filled with tears, and when I looked at her, her hands were shaking. Do you want me to go home? I said. I was shocked at how shaky my voice was. No, snarled JC, and I don't believe her. Jolene, go get your coat, Mrs. Gilligan said to her daughter. You have cabin fever again. Your Tete will take you girls for a ride. At JC's eye roll, her mother clapped her hands sharply at once. Go now. You'll feel better and you'll maybe stop yelling at poor Serena. I'm fine, I said, even though rocks were packed tightly in my stomach, and every one of JC's words had punched me where the rock was. Was I acting like a know-it-all? Just because I didn't let JC change the rules to the game, was I being mean or was she not being fair? It's not fine, Mrs. Geraldine corrected me, but you're a good girl, Serena. I didn't feel good. Sometimes, like now, it was exhausting to be JC's best friend. It was a car full of silent, soaking people that JC's Tate drove down Highway 24 to Fish Ranch Road. Mr. Geraldine, Mr. Geraldine
Excuse me,
took
Amaya. Sorry, darling. We're gonna have to start wrapping. We're gonna have to start wrapping up. So we've reached the hour mark. I know time goes by so fast when we're having so much fun reading. Do we want to give a few more minutes, Mr. Darrell, or? Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I want to give Daniel a chance to finish his last page. And Amaya, how much more did you have to go?
I had 2 pages.
2 more pages? All right, if you can wrap that. I just want to make sure you guys get closure, but we're way past the hour mark. So if you can wrap that up, then Daniel, be prepared to do yours, okay? Let's go.
All right. Yep, take it away, Maya.
Sometimes like now, it was exhausting to be JC's dad. It was a car full of silent, soaking people that JC's Tate drove down Highway 24 to Fish Ranch Road. Mr. Geraldine took the back roads from there, playing calm music on the stereo. He hummed. We didn't talk or even look at each other. I looked out my window and JC looked out hers. Lately we were looking 2 different directions. No wonder we couldn't see a way to get along anymore. Earlier it had been cloudy, but the sky was clearing a bit. And against the leftover clouds we could see the lights all the way down Wildcat Canyon, and farther out the bay and the lights of the bridge crisscrossing the water. Normally people drive to the top of Wildcat Canyon to watch the sunset. JC and I always went up there, but afterward we would drive to Menorio Springs Park to ride down the train or feed the ducks, but of course JC couldn't. Instead, Mr. Geraldine drove us down to the winding roads into the little corner of Note Avenue, where there was Michelle's ice cream, and he asked us what we wanted. I ordered a vanilla twirl soft serve cone. Boring, JC muttered as she always did. I shrugged, feeling the pinch that the word always brought. I was not boring. I wasn't. I just liked what I liked. There was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong with me. JC ordered halu halu, which is a Filipino dessert made of a bunch of things: white beans, evaporated milk, shaved ice, coconut, jackfruit, colored gelatin, and caramel flan, and a purple yam ice cream called ube. I've never had beans for dessert. I very carefully did not make a face. I was going to yak her yum. They're cooked in sugar, JC defended her choice. It's good. The kind of beans in haluho were good in lots of things, and jackfruit and flan are really, really sweet. I was sure all the ingredients tasted good, separately. I wasn't sure I liked them together at all. White beans and purple yam ice cream? No, thank you. Very much. No, thank you very much. Mr. Geraldine got a mix of what JC and I had, vanilla ice cream and ube with mango and tilapia. Both of us made a face at that. While she was getting much better, JC's not really supposed to eat any sugar very much. But Mr. Geraldine is supposed to not eat any sugar.
Awesome. Thank you, Amaya.
Good job, Amaya. Daniel, are you ready? You're about to close us out. Amaya, thank you so much.
I am ready.
All right, let's get it.
The monster's clawed fingers tear through the roof like it's nothing. The ceiling collapses around me. I duck the door. I'd love to stay for a while. Flip through the magazines. Check the sunglasses beneath the cool Avacias. Eat some Funyuns. But no time for that. Giant monster and all. I burst through the front door. I dash past a crumpled car. and through an overgrown yard and slide beneath the caved-in porch of an abandoned house. I pull out my camera. I always carry my camera. Always. I raise the viewfinder to my eyes, twist the lens, zoom in, and snap. I photograph every monster I come across, so later on I can study their attacks and defenses and strengths and weaknesses and junk. Also, it's just rad to say I'm a monster photographer. I gave each monster a name too, but what to call this guy? What to call a monster so terrifying that just looking at him scrambles my insides with French fried fear. The big beach roars again. It sounds like a blow. Lord, that's got right into it. Sally, the rocket like a wrecking ball crashing into 10 million Legos. The CV is crumbling, collapsing as the blood storms through its walls of the parking lot into the parking lot. When the smoke clears, I see the monster fully for the first time upright, standing tall on legs, as thick as tree trunks. A
Daniel,
monument of terror. Yes.
let me interrupt you for a
Yes.
second. Can you jump on your sister's computer real quick, because you sound like a robot right now. The connection's bad where you're at. If you can just go to your sister's room and use hers, that would be awesome. Your mom is getting
Okay.
it set up for you now.
Okay.
Thanks, Daniel. All right. So in the meantime, while Daniel's getting set up, he's our last reader. I want to thank all of our readers for joining us today. You guys are really, really, really awesome. For all of the folks who have been viewing and being patient with us and listening to all these incredible stories, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Please spread the word. If you have any young scholars that you would like to join us, this is not a closed community. We are wide open. Anywhere we have young people, we have brilliant scholars, and we're always open for young scholars to be a part of it and to join us. Right, Miss Audie?
Absolutely. If you have any of your colleagues that you want to join in with you on Saturdays, feel free to let them know about us. Tell them to grab a book and come join in on the fun.
Absolutely.
You guys
And
give
so,
yourselves a round of applause.
exactly.
You guys are so amazing.
I have a question for Amaya, and Morano. I do have a question while we're waiting for Daniel. What motivates you guys to want to continue to come on and share your writings, share your books, and read to people? Talk to me. Go ahead, Morano.
What motivates me here is just everyone here. I feel like everyone's just waiting. And since they're waiting, I'm going to read for them so they know I'm motivated by everyone. That's it.
That's beautiful. Okay. How about you, Amaya? What motivates you to come on Saturday mornings and read?
I usually just get up and I like to read books that I can actually relate to.
Okay.
Is that Caden?
Hey, Caden. Let's see who else. And Amaya, the other Amaya. What motivates you every Saturday morning? You're like, oh my gosh, you were one of our first to jump on. Like, I'm reading, and you shared your words with the world. What motivates you?
I really like to read. I've been in my school. I've been reading a lot of times, and they would say you're doing great. You're always keeping up. So I really wanted to come out and show everybody I can read, and I am a great scholar in my school.
Indeed, you are.
And you absolutely are. Thank you so much, you guys. Daniel, you are up. Let's finish that page. There we go, Daniel. We want to make sure everybody hears you as this baby screams. Here we go.
Okay. Okay. Blarg lowers his nose to the ground and sniffs. He lifts up a card and peeks underneath. Holy crud, he's on the hunt. He's searching for me. He scans the disturbed, decaying surroundings. He watches the porch I'm under. I go, can you see me?
I slowly inch backwards, farther into the shadows. He stares at the porch for a moment longer, then raises his head to the sky. A deafening howl of frustration erupts from his lungs. He doesn't see me. Lord turns and stomps his way down Spring Street, away from the ruins of CBS, sniffing along the ground like he's a bloodhound. And now he has my scent. I sneak out from beneath the porch. I think that was close. Super way dangerous close. But I'm getting used to things being super way dangerous close. What can I say? Life after the monster apocalypse. It's scary. And also a lot weird. But that's okay. I'm a lot weird too. Now it's time to get back to the treehouse.
Is that it, Daniel?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Look at that. You waited a whole 45 minutes to read that last page. Oh, you are my guy. You are my guy. Thank you so much.
Let's clap for him.
That's my guy.
You started it off and you finished it off for us this rising. Thank you so much, Daniel.
You're welcome.
All right.
Patience. I appreciate your patience and wanting to share your story and just be like, all right, taking your time with it. And we greatly appreciate your participation.
Okay. And are there in my inbox, I'm going to share some information. I got hit from about 4 different people who would like for their young scholars to join us. And I have a feeling they'll all be contacting you. For anyone who's interested in having your stop it. I'm sorry, everybody. I am in daddy mode. So sometimes it's like that. This is what we do. And hopefully I'll have them on reading when they learn how to read as well. But if anybody would like for their young scholars to join us, it doesn't matter where you're at. We have some of our folks, Daniel, Ayana, they're all in New York. We have Donovan, who's from Alabama. So it doesn't matter where you're at. If you'd like to come on,
geographical limits.
Right. The beauty of this virtual academy is, as she just said, there's no geographical limits. There are no borders and no boundaries. If you like to read a book, share something about you, that's fine. That's what we're here for. So with that being said, Miss Artie, we'll let you close it off. And great job. We're here again. You guys are awesome. I love listening to you guys read.
Yes. I just want to say, let's give another hand clap, right? Let's really big up ourselves. We've been on here for a few hours, just learning from each other, sharing words with one another, encouraging each other. And it's just a beautiful thing. So I want to encourage you all to have a beautiful day. I want to encourage you to continue reading. I want to encourage you to just continue searching, seeking out knowledge, seeking out new information, Googling those words, grabbing the dictionary to find out what it is that you're talking about or what you're trying to get across. Communicate, right? Send love to yourself, send love to others, and always be grateful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's all I have for you all this rising.
All right. So with that being said, everybody have an awesome weekend. Now you guys can go have some fun, read some more books. Miran, keep those little fingers typing. I want to hear more stories. Deal?
Peace and blessings, young scholars. Enjoy your weekend. Have a beautiful week. We
You
will see
too.
you all again on Saturday.
Thank you for having me.
You're
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
All right, everyone.
Having me.